Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today Jamie and I return with the first proper F1 2022 car reveal. Yes, today we're here talking about sort of our thoughts and feelings on the new Red Bull RB18, where we sort of expect the team to be this year, what the expectations are by Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. But first of all, Jamie, how are we doing, mate?
I'm all good, yeah. Just haven't really had a chance to look at the car properly yet because I've been at uni all day, but I just got back, so it's all good.
It's all good in the hood, I suppose. I've been at home, luckily, from work for about an hour and a half now, so I've had time, sort of settle down, get ready, watch the launch, everything like that. Of course, if you're new around here as well, and you do go on to enjoy, make sure you click the links down below. Of course, this one, it's probably better for a lot of people, I would have thought, to be on YouTube to watch, but I'm sure Spotify listeners, obviously if you want to go check it out on there and all future podcasts, there will be links down below, as well, of course, to the F1 merch store and the Clips channel. I'm going to link all those down below, but these videos are going to sort of be shorter ones, so I suppose we better jump right into it, Jamie. Have you got the picture of the car up on your screen?
Yes, I have.
Good, sir?
Yes.
Good. Initial thoughts then, Jamie. What did you think when they unveiled this thing?
Pretty predictable, but we all knew, unless they were giving a launch livery, their actual livery they use is always going to be the same now. It's like a modern classic, so not surprising. I do actually really like it, just for the difference, like the red stripe between the side pod and the airbox. I like that a lot, and obviously they've got a brand new title sponsor, it looks like, with Oracle.
Yep.
I've just seen a tweet, they're giving Red Bull 100 million a year for that.
Sponsorship. I could cope with that, I reckon.
Which is pretty decent, you find.
Well, yeah, when you think about the budget caps, 135 mil, that's basically Red Bull covered.
Yeah, pretty much. I do like it. The shape of the car also just looks really different. It's quite interesting. I think it looks a bit more aggressive. Obviously, the whole point of the 17 regs was to make them look faster, which was a stupid thing to base your regulation changes on. But I do like the look of the car a lot. I don't think it will be what it looks like on track, because obviously it's new regs. Red Bull are traditionally a team who always hide their hand until the last minute, but it looks good. I like the nose shape as well. It just looks really clean.
Yes, yeah. Obviously, again, when you mentioned about the 2017 regs as well, of course, that was designed. The whole thought process then was maximum downforce means maximum racing, which of course wasn't the answer. So immediately, the 2022 cars just look so clean. Yeah. In comparison, isn't it? The fact that obviously, hopefully, therefore, less downforce generally actually creates better racing for the most part. Or it creates more interesting racing, I think it's safe to say. For me, though, genuinely, first thing I thought when I saw this thing was it just looks like a bit of a modified F2 car.
Yeah, it does look quite small, doesn't it? I wonder if it's... there's no scaling or anything on there at all. But I don't know, it looks quite short, I find. Obviously, Red Bull always have a short wheelbase. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it looks like in real life. Obviously, we've seen a few pictures of the actual launch of people there and stuff. But the one they tweeted is just it with a black background and stuff. So it's hard to tell anything. Yeah. But it does look... The scaling of it just looks different to last year, which we'll have to wait and see if it's good or bad.
I think, that all the cars obviously are meant to be a lot smaller, which of course is really, really important for the new year. So I would love to see like a half-on-half F1 versus F2 car for like the comparisons and things like that. Because, again, smaller cars generally provide better racing. I don't know how Formula 1 have taken... Yeah, exactly. How easy it is to overtake a 3-foot trike at the end of the day. But, yeah, that I think, like you mentioned, obviously the red stripes... Jamie, I'm a fan of the yellow nose. Are you so keen?
I don't know, really. I've not had time to digest it properly. But my initial reaction was, that looks a bit weird. So maybe I'm not. It looks like a duck, doesn't it? It's very long.
I've not got that impression from it. I am genuinely a fan of that yellow nose. I think it works out quite well. If you look at it obviously from the front, obviously that and then of course the little bit of yellow over the airbox, I think work quite well together.
Yeah, it will slowly become more like a classic yellow Renault, which I'm sure they want to happen.
It's going to look like a Jordan.
Yeah.
It's going to have buzzing hornets on it soon.
It does look very cool. With the airbox is like exactly the same width as the nose.
Yes, yeah.
So it's like a stripe almost down the middle, which is quite cool. Obviously, the best part of the car is the number 1 on the chassis.
Yeah, not sure. I'm guessing they forgot to put Checo's extra one on there. That seemed a bit
maybe.
odd. I don't know if you saw during the interview as well. Obviously, Max Verstappen, they asked him about the 33, why he's gone to 1. He said it looks cooler. Yeah. Now, I wanted to ask you this, Jamie. Say you won it. I never understood why people don't. Say you won a Formula 1 World Championship. Surely you'd run number 1 as well. You'd have to.
You'd got to.
Absolutely have to, surely.
How many times in motorsport do you get to run with number 1? Like...
Never.
Until you're in Formula 1 and you win a title. Like, I don't see the reason not to.
No.
Obviously, Hamilton's chosen not to because he's got a special affinity with 44. But
yeah, it's his whole brand.
Yeah.
But then again, so was Max's with 33.
Yeah. But the number 1 is just the best number. Come on.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And it in a weird way, it works out quite well with the Mobile 1 logos you got on the front of the car as well. Now, talking more about Red Bull then for 2022, Jamie. Of course, we've done some very, very loose pre-season predictions that are going to come back and bite me. Yep, I'm already regretting putting Williams so high up the order.
Where was it you put them in the end? Fifth
place, I reckon. Williams.
Ridiculous
No, I'm going to stick strong with that, I reckon. But 2022 for Red Bull is, I think, a year where they're either going to do a Ferrari in 2017 or a Ferrari in 2020.
I think almost for Red Bull the pressure's off, which is quite a nice place to be in.
Would you argue that? I would not.
I don't think it's fully off, but say they have a 2015 year for them where I think they finished
fourth behind Williams,
in the championship, and got like 2 podiums all year, both at the same race, which was quite amusing. Oh, 3
Was it only
actually.
2?
No,
I was going to say they got a couple more than that, didn't they?
They got 1 at Singapore and 2 at Hungary, and that was it.
USA?
Nope. 10th and DNF.
Oh yeah, they
Everyone
did, didn't they?
Well.
Yeah, because they were right at the front for most of the race and
Yeah.
they both bottled it. I'd forgot about that.
Yeah, so I think if they have a year like that, because they just won the championship last year, they probably won't. They won't like fire people over it at all, because they're going to admit they did put so much effort into winning last year's title and it paid off. So.
And Red Bull isn't generally a team when, unless it's their drivers, that they don't tend to fire a lot of people anyway, do they? I mean, that core has stayed very, very much the same for, well, pretty much since the inception of the team.
Yeah, basically. So I think they'll be hoping that they can mount a title challenge. If they don't, and they're just respectably 3rd, 4th-ish, I don't think they'll be too fussed. Obviously, Max will want to win, because that's who he is, but he also said, unlike the
they're racing drivers.
Yeah, exactly. But on the cooldown lap from Abu Dhabi, he was like, or in the interviews, afterwards, he was like, yeah, I want to stay with this team forever because they've brought him to the top. Obviously, that will change if they're suddenly like 10.
I was going to say, everyone says that when you win a world title with someone. Unless you're like, I can't remember who it was for Ferrari.
Is it Prost who left immediately?
No, because he didn't win. I swear there was one that won the title with Ferrari and then just immediately left.
Well, Jenson Button did that with Braun as well, but that was on good terms.
I was going to say, not quite the same vibe, was it?
But I think they'll be there or thereabouts, won't they? If I had to make a prediction now, I don't think Constructors will go to Red Bull.
No.
Because they're not that sort of team. I think they could mount a Drivers' Championship challenge with Max, but it's so difficult to tell, obviously, until we know car pace and stuff.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Quickly as well, Jamie, I've only just noticed this. Thoughts on the little red wheel rims?
Oh, hang on, let me get the picture back. The red wheel... I mean, it will look great.
That's quite a tongue twister, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Red
wheel rims.
Red wheel rims. Wow. It will look really good when it's on softs. I don't think it looks great on the mediums that it's on the picture that we've got. But it will be interesting to see. Obviously, they've got the new fancy LEDs on the wheel caps, on the hubcaps, effectively.
I don't think anyone... Do we think anyone's going to do anything? Unless it's like Haas, they're going to put like Sweet America on them or something like that.
American flags on the cooldown laps.
Yep.
I think, yeah, they're not going to be used that much, are they? Why would any team focus on something completely aesthetic?
Yes, yeah.
But I'm not a huge fan. I think on softs it will look cool, like I said, but any other tyre, it probably will look a bit strange.
Unless, of course, you can change the colour.
Yeah, that'd be great. If the tyre rim comes with the actual tyre that Pirelli give you.
No, I mean, even with the LEDs.
Oh, yeah. The LED, that'd be really cool, actually.
You don't need to worry about trying to bolt a rim and a tyre onto
Yeah.
the brake pads, or the brake ducts even. That wouldn't work. Or the wheel. Yeah, I don't know. I've probably got the mechanics there horribly wrong, and someone's going to be
There's
angry at me in the
mechanics
comments.
going to be crying their eyes out.
I don't blame him. But yeah, I mean, it just looks clean, doesn't it?
It does
this
look
car.
very good, yeah.
I was gonna say as well, I don't know if it's just this picture, but there seems to be quite an odd bit underneath the front intake on the side pod.
Let me try and get to a picture that you're on about. The side-on picture.
Yeah.
So the barge board is very raised, isn't it?
Yeah, the barge board comes up massively at the front, which I thought was quite interesting. I'm guessing that's for the Venturi tunnels.
I don't know what that means.
That's for the ground effect.
Right, okay. Yeah. I mean, I'd guess that this is a very simplified version of the car that will be on track in Melbourne. No, in Bahrain, sorry.
I was going to say Melbourne, round 4 or 3.
Yeah. So it's hard to read into what the car actually is saying right now, because they will obviously not be revealing their hand until they have to.
Yes.
Because that's just what all these teams do. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see about that. Like I said, I'm just looking at it more and more, and it's still giving me complete F2 vibes as well. The more I look at it, the more it does. Now, so neither of us really honestly believe that Red Bull are going to be mounting a Constructors' Championship challenge this year. You've said already you think Max Verstappen can fight for the Drivers' Championship. I think that might be... I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. Checo Perez, though, I think is the interesting one to talk about from Red Bull this year, isn't he? How do we... Because this really now is the golden opportunity for Checo to reset himself with Red Bull, isn't it?
It's quite an important year, I think, because they've obviously got Pierre Gasly, who I don't think they will put back in, but if he keeps on performing the way he is...
It'd be hard to argue against it,
It's hard to ignore it when Perez is well over 30 now. They've got their own youth system, which they tend to use a lot. They probably prefer promoting from within than having an outsider like Perez, although he's very much part of the family now. It's important that he delivers well, which I think he was doing, especially second half of last season.
Yeah, he did come on strong when he started taking setups his own way last year. But
yeah.
I'm sort of thinking more on the fact that once he did sort of work out what setups worked for him in the car, if obviously now a huge major reset, a lot of the things that have worked with the 17 to 21 generation of cars obviously won't work setup-wise with these new cars. Could this be the chance where Checo really puts himself... Probably, let's be fair, he's probably not going to put himself on par with Max week in, week out. But if he could just be a couple of tenths away, if he's got maybe slightly better setups that work more for him, it just depends on how much Red Bull gear this car completely towards Verstappen's driving style.
Yeah, I think the level at which Verstappen's been performing the last 2 seasons, it's going to be hard for anyone to match him in the same car that's basically based around him.
Yes, yeah.
So I'd be surprised if we see much difference. Obviously, Perez, I think, was about 6/10 off on average, which is an awful lot, especially if these cars are going to be really close. And the Red Bull isn't as clear as it was last year compared to everyone apart from Mercedes. It could easily see Perez going out in Q2 fairly regularly, or qualifying lower top 10 while Max is in the top 4.
Yes.
Hopefully that doesn't happen for his sake, but it could be a very real possibility unless he picks it up.
Yeah, and I think that's rather important, isn't it, as well for Checo? This, again, we didn't mention him in our make or break part of last week's podcast, did we? But it could still be a make or break year for Checo Perez. Because really at the moment, could you see any other team picking Sergio up?
I think someone like a Williams would, because he's really well backed.
Yes.
He has got money,
that
and
Mexico
he's got
money.
ability, and he's got experience. So he would easily find himself, a bit like Bottas has, in just a lower team, doing week in, week out work, just helping a rookie potentially. Williams or even Haas could easily make use of him.
Yes, I think. But would he want to go someone like Williams or Haas? Got to raise the question, doesn't it? I think at the end of the day. But yeah, big year, of course, for Checo and Max Verstappen. I mean, again, Red Bull have been very clever, haven't they, with completely trying to underplay 2022 expectations.
Yeah. And it's nice that they won the championship, because if they go into a new
some, I suppose.
But for them especially, because if you go into this new rule change and you're suddenly back where you started in 2017, where you're like a second a lap off the fastest again, it just looks like it's not a system that's working for Red Bull if you've got to build it all the way back up.
Yeah, win one and then just fall back again. Yeah, because I mean, really, when with sort of these regulations got announced, do you think this is either going to be the Adrian Newey wizardry in full, turned it up to 11?
Yeah.
Or it's just going to be the same as the last few years? Do we believe Honda now are going to give them the engine where Adrian Newey's hard work can be represented fully?
It's engine freeze, isn't it? Or is that wrong? So it'll be the same engine as last year.
You might be spot on.
I think I'm right.
I think you might be right.
Red Bull really pushed for that when Honda pulled out. They're like, we don't want to change anything.
F1 engine free. Yep, freeze for 2022. You're bang on.
So
but
the Honda engine was decent last year, actually, and reliable as well. Like, they took way less engine penalties than Mercedes did. Although they were
new fuel.
Mercedes were just making up like voodoo engines for the second half of the season, so kept taking penalties.
New fuel though, Jamie.
Oh, that makes
Ferrari have come on strong. It has so far.
The Ferrari engine was decent.
I think you're genuinely underestimating that right there.
I definitely am.
Ferrari engine is coming on strong. There's a lot of talks about that. Mercedes, we know, can put a spicy engine in the car if they need to. I really do wonder whether that Honda power unit is as good as a lot of people might want to believe it is. I don't believe it's on a par with Mercedes last year, and I think Ferrari are going to have a better engine again next year.
I think the good thing is they're all four of the engines are close enough to not make a massive difference. Obviously, start of 2014, we saw any Mercedes power team had a huge advantage over anyone else.
Yes.
And the same again with when Honda came back, their engine was so far off the pace, it was just laughable. So I'm glad that that's in the past, and the engines are all fairly balanced, or at least they were last year.
Yes, yeah, we'll wait and see, won't we? I think there's a lot of questions have been raised, haven't they, by this Red Bull launch. Yeah, I'm just sort of having a bit of a scan around the car. Again, it's just very, very difficult because, of course, over the last few years when we've done these, we sort of talk about the inner complexities of each car. And, of course, we just don't have any of those looking at this thing so far. Out of 10 then, Jamie, what are we going to rate this livery?
I think I would go with a 7.
Fair enough.
I don't think I love it, but it's definitely not offensive to me. No.
I'm gonna agree with you there. I'm gonna go with a 7 out of 10. So 14 out of 20 then for the Red Bull RB18.
I think once we come to do our livery ranking, it will definitely be top half. But I don't think it will be top.
No. Again, obviously it's very distinctly the Red Bull, but it's nice to see they actually made some changes for once, which is always reassuring as well there. But anything else to add then, Jamie, before we round this one out?
Don't think so. Should be exciting next few weeks though, obviously. When's the next reveal? Is it tomorrow?
Yes, Aston Martin tomorrow.
Oh, lovely.
We're going to be back on the grind. Right, to finish us off then, Jamie, bold Red Bull prediction for 2022.
Oof.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
How many races are there this year? 23?
23.
I'll go... It probably doesn't sound very bold when they won, 11 last year, but I'll say 4 wins and none for Checo.
Right. Okay.
Maybe I'm pessimistic. I don't think Red Bull will be the fastest this year, unfortunately.
I was going to say Red Bull will win 3 or less races this year.
Wow, both on the down train.
Yeah. I mean, we predicted them, 3rd, I think, each overall for 2022
So
in our very, very early predictions. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be a million miles away, but I think even those 3 wins, there's going to be probably a couple that are down to aero tracks, because, let's be fair, Adrian Newey is just leagues above anyone else still. I don't care what people argue against that. And yeah, I think they're going to get that one
I'll go for an even bolder one. I'll go 1 pole position.
I'm going to go no pole positions.
They are going to Monaco. But then Leclerc's an absolute wizard around there until he puts in a wall in lap 2.
Exactly. Yeah, lap 2 of qualifying.
Yeah.
Leclerc will bin it. I'm going to say no poles, and a maximum of 3 wins in 2022.
Wow, they're going to be awful.
Oh, I don't think they're going to be
had it.
awful, but I just don't think we've seen a big enough shake-up that you can get a lot of teams that are going to have, like, off weekends and things like that.
So you're calling an exact replica of 2014 season for them?
They didn't... Yeah, I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I am. Yeah, this is going to be the Red Bull 2014. Does that mean the car rocking 3s is going to... No, neither car rocks 3s.
No, anymore.
Perez is going to beat Verstappen, are we calling, are we?
No.
No. I don't think we're going to see that happen either. But, yeah, thank you all, though. I'm guessing now, Jamie, that hasn't led to any more sort of thoughts or feelings from you.
No, not at all.
No, that's fair enough. So, yeah, no poles, 3 wins predicted for me. 1 pole and 4 wins predicted for Jamie during 2022 for Red Bull. Let us know your predictions, thoughts and feelings down below. Give us your livery ranking out of 10, as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like and get yourself subscribed. We'll be back, like we mentioned, tomorrow, ready to reveal the Aston Martin livery. You guys do not want to miss it.